Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good evening. Welcome to the Dhammapada program. After a lap of 4 weeks, and I'm sorry about that, I was on travel. Of course, for propagating the noble teachings of the Buddha. Thank you for being faithful and coming again to listen to this Dhamma. Today, I'm going to discuss the chapter 8 of the Dhammapada. That's called Sahasra Vagga. Sahasra Vagga means thousands. Thousands. So there are a lot of things to discuss in this chapter. Thousands. The chapter begins with the stanza, Pali stanza. Maybe I still feel that it's better to recite the Pali, the original word of the Buddha. Some people might not like it, but it is good to hear the original word of the Buddha. It is fantastic and it's blissful. So this is the 100th verse of the Dhammapada. Again, chapter 8, named thousands. In Pali it is a sahasra. Sahasampi che vacha anatta padasam hita. Ekam atta padam seyo yan sutva upasammati. How nice. How nice. Better than a speech of 1,000 vain words. 1,000 vain words is one thoughtful word which brings peace to the mind. How nice. The 1,000 speeches be composed of meaningless lines, better than single meaningful line one hears, then comes to calm. This is what a wonderful meaning. What a wonderful meaning. Then the first, second, third, fourth verses of this 8th chapter is always like this. Better than a poem of 1,000 vain verses is one thoughtful line which brings peace to the mind. Which brings peace to the mind. Better than thousands of verses. Then one who conquers himself, is greater than another who conquers 1,000 times 1,000 men or in the battlefield. Conquers of oneself is better than the conquering of thousands of people on the battlefield. How nice. What a beautiful meaning. We always try to conquer others, occupy other lands of others, and live in peace. Will that be possible? It's not possible. We should not deprive the basic rights of anybody, because it is a sin. I'm not talking about politics. Sorry. I'm still suffering from cough that I caught on a flight. So one who conquers himself is greater than another who conquers 1,000 times, 1,000 men on the battlefield. Conquering oneself is the better than conquering a whole country, thousands of people. Expressions replete with thousands of words are of no value. One single meaningful word is more valuable if hearing it one is pacified. Vacha Anatta Pada Samhita is a small, and one line of this 4-line verses. Discourse full of useless words. That is the meaning. Words that are not conducive to the attainment of higher spiritual goals are meant here. In traditional commentaries, description of sky, mountains, forest, villages, cities, settlements, oceans, moon, moonrise, sun, sunrise, parks, water sports, drinking parties, get-togethers are considered themes unfit to be talked about by aspirants. Those who like to reach higher goals, spiritual goals, and these type of talks unfit to be talked. These are considered futile and as not being helpful in spiritual pursuits. 32 topics come within the category of useless discourses. Similarly, topics such as Rajakatha, matters related to kings or politics, Chorakatha, matters relating to thieves, Mahanakatha, matters relating to administrators, Mahamach, chief ministers. Sena means army, of forces, armed forces. Bhaya, fears. Yuddha, wars, are termed unfit words to be discussed by those seeking higher spiritual goals. Why? Because these type of talks are detrimental to the one's path of peace. Therefore, it's good to avoid that type of talks, and they are not useful but full of meaningless expressions. A poem replete with thousands of verses is of no value if it has no useful meaning. One single stanza pregnant with idioms or with wisdom is more valuable. So, if hearing it, one is pacified. A Pali composition in verse is called stanza, gatha, usually 4 lines. So sorry about that again. One who conquers himself is greater than another who conquers 1,000 times 1,000 men on the battlefield. Because conquering thousands of people doesn't bring him anything, maybe a short-living, lustful joy, pleasure. But conquering oneself will bring you eternal peace, joy, everlasting. So that's why it's important not to conquer thousands on the battlefield, but to conquer oneself. This is what Buddha encourages. Conquer yourself. Therefore, try to listen to the words full of meaning that leads to be peaceful. Not to listen thousands of words that are meaningless. Not to listen thousands of sentences, meaningless. Not to listen to thousands of poems, meaningless. Better to listen to one poem that is useful, that will help you to be peaceful. Better listen to one sentence that will help you to be peaceful, joyful. Listen to one word rather than listen to thousands of useless words. Listen to one word that will make you peaceful, calm. So these are the beautiful advices given by the Buddha in the chapter 8, Sahasravagga chapter 1,000 and thousands. Rather than listening to thousands of words, listen to one beautiful word that will make you happy. Rather than listening to thousands of sentences, listen to one sentence that will make you pacified. Rather than listening to thousands of poems, listen to one poem that will make you peaceful, that will earn you everlasting peace. How nice it is. This is the message from the Buddha from the chapter 8, Sahasravagga, thousands. And how meaningful, what beautiful, how nice. You want peace? As one general said in England, go to east. If you want war, go to west. Today and tomorrow, people all over the world will be looking to the east. That is the noble teaching of the Buddha for the eternal peace, everlasting joy, liberation. May you all be well and happy.